ค่ะ Good evening. Welcome to ThaiPBS English News Service. Tonight you're with me, Rungtip Chonapalai. Thailand's long overdue sale of third generation or 3G mobile services spectrum has attracted a storm of criticism because the auction generated far less revenue than anticipated. The auction has been slammed by critics as uncompetitive, undervalued, and a failure. However, the National Broadcasting and Telecommunications Commission, or NBTC, continues to insist that it carried out the auction in an appropriate and transparent way. The 3G auction fetched 41.625 billion baht in all, only 1.125 billion or 2.78% above the reserve price. This has led to a storm of criticism accusing the NBTC of selling at too low a price and failing to maximize the benefits for the country. However, the price is calculated based on price recommendations made by Chulalongkorn University economists hired by the NBTC to consider benchmark prices. Meanwhile, Nitya Sunthorn Siripong, director of the Center for International Research and Information, said she had expected to see a higher bid, adding the appropriate price per slot should be 6.4 billion baht and not between 4.5 and 4.95 billion as specified by the NBTC. Tomorrow, Suriyasai Katasila, head of the Green Politics Group, and his lawyer will go to the administrative court to file more complaints and a request to nullify the auction because the low bids. Thakon Tantasit, secretary of the NBTC, announced that a meeting will come to a decision on the winners of the 3G auction tomorrow. Meanwhile, Pawit Lisathaporn Wongsa, one of the NBTC committee members, suggested that the NBTC nullify the auction's result to avoid a possible investigation by the National Anti-Corruption Commission. And following the auction of 3G spectrum, the National Broadcasting and Telecommunication Commission is set to grant the 15-year concession licenses to the three winning bidders amid, as we have just seen, fierce criticism of the auction process. Earlier, I spoke with Dr. Somkiat Tangkitwanit, president of the Thailand Development Research Institute of TDRI, who said that NBTC has to take responsibility for the lower than expected winning bids.
I think the bidding yesterday was a failure, was a big failure in terms of the revenue generated from the auction, because auction is designed for generating competition, but yesterday there was very few competition. So it's no wonder that the resulted price was only 2.5% over the starting price, even though the starting price itself was set very low.
But then who won and who lost?
Well, it can be said very clearly, confidently, that the one who get the windfall gain from yesterday bidding was the three operators who joined the auction, and the one who lose is all of us as citizens, as taxpayers. The government taxpayer lost, and operators win very handsomely.
Yeah. So what have we learned from this?
I think the lesson for the next auction is that in order to conduct an auction, we need to guarantee that the auction is competitive. In order to make auction competitive, we need to have the market open up. The Thai telecom market has been protected for far too long, comparing with neighboring countries in this region. And soon we have to compete with them in terms of manufacturing goods, in terms of exports. If our service sector, including telecom, is not competitive, how can the Thai companies compete with our neighbors? I think that would be a problem. So what's best for Thailand is to open up the Thai telecom market so that we have more bidders for the next auction and also more operators that can provide telecom services for the Thai companies and Thai citizens.
So you think this is a fair game?
It would be hard for me to accept yesterday auction as a fair game. I think it's a big failure. I think there's a big failure in the design of the auction, and I think the NBTC, the Thai telecom regulator, should be responsible for conducting such a bad auction.
Yesterday, after 200 passengers got stranded at Incheon International Airport in South Korea, the Thai embassy announced that they had sent their staff to assist Thai passengers. The embassy helped coordinate with Thai Airways to provide special ticket prices for the first group of about 25 passengers traveling to Thailand by TG 693 today. For the rest of the passengers, the Thai embassy is trying to coordinate with travel agencies to provide temporary accommodation. At least 100,000 people were expected to line the route from Phnom Penh Airport to the Royal Palace in Cambodia today as the country's former King Norodom Sihanu's body is repatriated from Beijing. This morning, many mourners gathered in front of the Royal Palace with portraits, candles, incense sticks, and lotus flowers to pay their respects to the late king. Chinese police escorted the body from Beijing hospital to the airport for return to Phnom Penh. Sihanouk died from a heart attack on Monday at the age of 90 in Beijing, where he had been receiving medical treatment since January. Beijing traffic authorities cleared several roads and a highway as a bus decorated with yellow flowers and apparently carrying Sihanouk's body traveled to the airport with a few dozen black cars and minibuses. Chinese state television carried live coverage of the procession, while Chinese flags at Tiananmen Square and other key locations in the capital flew at half-mast. In a heated U.S. presidential election debate last night, an aggressive President Barack Obama accused challenger Mitt Romney of fairing a one-point plan to help the rich and of offensive criticism about the recent deadly terrorist attack in Libya in a debate crackling with energy and emotion just 3 weeks before the election. Here's more from Hugh Adam.
Romney pushed back hard, saying the middle class had, quote, been crushed over the last 4 years and that 23 million Americans are still struggling to find work. Both men pledged a better economic future to a young man who asked the first question, a member of a pre-selected audience of 82 uncommitted voters. The president was feistier from the outset than he had been in their initial encounter 2 weeks ago, when he turned in a listless performance that sent shudders through his supporters and helped fuel a rise by Romney in the opinion polls nationally and in some battleground states. Obama and Romney disagreed forcefully and repeatedly about taxes, the bailout of the auto industry, measures to reduce the deficit, energy, pay equity for women and health care, as well as foreign policy, across 90 minutes of a town hall-style debate. Their clashes crackled with energy and tension, and the crowd watched raptly as the two sparred while struggling to appear calm and affable before a national television audience.
And when Governor Romney stands here after a year of campaigning, when during a Republican primary he stood on stage and said, I'm going to give tax cuts. He didn't say tax rate cuts, he said tax cuts to everybody, including the top 1%. You should believe him, because that's been his history. And that's exactly the kind of top-down economics that is not going to work if we want a strong middle class and an economy that's thriving for everybody.
Governor Romney, I'm sure you've got a reply there.
You're absolutely right. You heard what I said about my tax plan. The top 5% will continue to pay 60% as they do today. I'm not looking to cut taxes for wealthy people.
Asked by one member of the audience how he would differ from former President George W. Bush, the last Republican to hold office, Romney said, quote, we are different people and these are different times. He said he would attempt to balance the budget, something Bush failed to do, get tougher on China, and work more aggressively to expand trade. The final question of the night allowed both candidates to explain how they had been misrepresented or misunderstood during the campaign. Romney took the opportunity to tell the audience that he had been characterized as someone who is very different than who he actually is, and that he cared about 100% of the American people. When it came to Obama to respond, the incumbent president pounced, saying that when Romney said in a closed-door meeting that 47% of Americans considered themselves, quote, victims, the audience should think about who he was talking about. The final debate next Monday in Florida will be devoted to foreign policy. Opinion polls made the race a close one, with Obama leading in some national surveys and Romney in others. Hugh Adams, Thai PBS.
Thank you, Kun Hugh. After police are continuing to question another of the former Burmese employees of Dr. Supat Lauhawatana, police would only comment that both witnesses provided useful information to the investigation team. The main issue discussed at today's meeting of the Police Affairs Committee was the request by Ek Supat's son for a new investigation team. He still insists that his father has no intention of trying to escape and accused the police of lacking enough evidence to continue to hold his father in custody. Police Colonel Pansari Papawat said that he had instructed the Crime Suppression Division to work with the current investigation team. Meanwhile, Commissioner General of Provincial Police Region 7 assured the public of the police transparency, insisting that only 15 police officers are involved in Supat's arrest and investigation, and that police were following normal procedures. Meanwhile, the investigating team has interviewed another Burmese worker who claimed to have employed at the orchard. He told investigators that Dr. Supat ordered him to kill Kalong after finding the missing couple's pickup parked at an unoccupied house because Kalong knew about the disappearance of the couple and about the 3 skeletons found in the orchard. The Disabled Lottery Traders Federation of Thailand have called on the government to cancel the planned online lottery, which they plan to launch next year, because the plan could have negative effect on the country in the long term, particularly on disabled people who earn their living by selling lottery tickets. The online 2- and 3-digit lottery was discussed in the Government Lottery Committee's meeting today after the Cabinet approved the online lottery guidelines 2 weeks ago. Earlier, Loxley G-Tech Technology sent their representatives to inspect more than 6,000 lottery vending machines, finding 80% of them in good working order. The broken units will be repaired. This morning, more than 100 disabled people gathered in front of the Government Lottery Office, or GLO, on Ratchadamnern Road to protest against the planned online lottery, saying it might affect disabled people who sell lottery tickets to earn their living. Amnoi Krin, chairman of the Disabled Lottery Traders Federation of Thailand, said the government should carry out more studies on the plan's negative impacts and consequences and listen to academics, non-governmental organizations and lottery ticket vendors, since more people may be tempted into gambling by this scheme. In addition, the required public hearing has yet to be held. Good news for Liverpool Football Club fans. The chairman of the Football Association of Thailand has announced that players from the Liverpool team will be coming to Thailand in July next year as part of their Asian tour. Rory Makudi, chairman of the Football Association of Thailand, under the patronage of His Majesty the King, has confirmed that Liverpool Football Club will be coming to Thailand as part of their Asian tour. Liverpool FC is scheduled to be in Hong Kong, Indonesia and Thailand. They will be playing in Thailand on July 24th, 2013. Liverpool FC will be sending its full team to play against the national team of Thailand. The team came to Thailand for the first time in 2001 and the last time was 3 years ago. And that wraps up tonight's editions of Thai PBS English News Service. Thank you for watching. I'm Rutip Chonapalai. Have a good night. สวัสดีค่ะ